Hi muckers, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Hope you're all doing very, very, very well. Oh, this hand just starts moving whenever I start filming these videos, doesn't it? Hello, welcome back. So today we're going to be talking about Mr. Beast's own findings in his own investigation into his own company. I'm telling the truth. That is literally what we're going to be talking about today. Now, we're aware that Ava Chris Tyson had all of these allegations. It was in summer, everything was kind of coming to the forefront, and it really involved this person who goes by Lava GS on Twitter, and there was a lot of allegations going around. It was hitting the mainstream that Mr. Beast had Ava Chris Tyson on his team, and Ava Chris Tyson was being inappropriate with minors or was grooming minors, and there was a lot going on, and it was really frustrating and complicated because we have the person who the story was really about, Lava GS, being like, you know, I don't like that people are talking about this at the magnitude they are. I don't like the way people are covering the story. And then you have people being like, okay, are we going to cover the story or are we not going to cover the story? Because the main person is saying that they don't like how people are approaching it in what they're calling Ava Chris Tyson. But then you have everyone else being like, oh, well, what Ava Chris Tyson is doing is this and that and XYZ. So it was an entire mess. And also there was another element of it that Ava Chris Tyson, formerly Chris Tyson, is a trans woman. And this really opened up a conversation from a certain loud minority on the internet, even though they can seem like the majority because they are so loud, of just spewing transphobic shit online. And not only just transphobic shit, but just bigoted stuff in general, and using the fact that there were these allegations against Ava Chris Tyson to basically try to paint the entire LGBTQ plus, not even just trans people, as predators, groomers, pedophiles, anything. And it really frustrates me that people will always find a way to try paint people as something, and I think that the trans community are already a group that needs so much protection. So I just feel so protective over when stuff like this happens, and that side of people who have this stupid ideology of wanting to paint people in certain ways, they're going to run with it either way. And it's really frustrating and it's really dangerous. And I don't know, just protect your trans brothers and sisters out there, and I will always, always, always be on the forefront of rooting for everyone and supporting everyone in any way that I can. And it was very, very, very unfortunate that the media that was covering this story was kind of coming at it from a transphobic standpoint in, well, all trans people groom kids, or all gay people groom kids, rather than actually talking about the story at hand. Which is why it was, quite frankly, very difficult for a lot of people to cover this story in summer, because you were already getting an audience that were incredibly bigoted, you know, coming in and spewing shit without even wanting to hear what happened. And I think that Ava Chris Tyson is an awful person. And I think Ava Chris Tyson is an awful person because Ava Chris Tyson is an awful person. To kind of put this as Ava Chris Tyson being a trans woman means that every trans person is therefore gonna have allegations of grooming people or being inappropriate with minors. Fuck you if you think that. Fuck you. Genuinely, if you're in my YouTube video thinking that right now, fuck you, and please leave, because you have no idea how much we differ in opinions. And not that we should agree on everything, but truly, if you disagree with me and that's where your mind goes whenever we cover a story like this, fuck you, and you have no space being here. Like, I have no respect for you. My core audience have no respect for you, and fuck off to Twitter or something like that where all that fucking hateful shit spews. Like, fuck off. So anyways, Ava Chris Tyson, you know, had these allegations, and it was stemming from this person, Lava GS, I'm pretty sure, who has also released a statement on the internal findings, whatever that means. So Mr. Beast had put a statement in summer basically saying that he is aware of what's happened, and, you know, he's going to be focusing and looking inwards in the company and figuring it out, acting like he didn't know that Ava Chris Tyson was doing all these things, acting this way, making these jokes, sending these pictures, sending these videos, sending these memes, talking this way. It was bullshit. And it was Mr. Beast then threw Ava Chris Tyson basically under the bus by being like, well, I didn't know anything, which I believe to be complete and utter BS. So that was a really long intro, I just feel very passionate whenever it comes to this because I want to cover it correctly, and I don't want to allow any space for miscommunication in my comment section, because there's no place for that. All right. Oh, also, I was going to say before I get into my videos, I don't know why, but I've been in a really music-y mood, and I have a couple songs to recommend. True Love Will Find You in the End by Daniel Johnston. I really, really, really love that. Really loving Cool by Gwen Stefani right now. Arsonist from Halsey's new album. And then I'm also going to say Change by Lana Del Rey. They are the songs that I'm listening to. Oh, and Frankie. Who's that song? It's, oh, Frankie. It's such an old song. Frankie by Connie Francis. Been loving all those songs right now. Go give them a listen if you want to see where my kind of music taste is at right now. But anyways, on with the video. Also, just a reminder that I'm going on tour in America in February. I'm going to Brooklyn, Chicago, Seattle, LA, and Dallas. Tickets are on sale right down below. At x1entertainment.com/Adam McIntyre. I can't wait to put on the most deranged show of your entire life, and I can't wait to meet all of you. It's going to be very, very, very exciting. Thank you so much to everyone who's got their tickets already. And if you do, let me know down below. And if you want me to go to any other cities, let me know down below because we're adding other cities. All right. Let's get to it. So, let's get to the original MrBeast tweet. So, he had tweeted July 25th. Oh my God, time flies because that's so long ago, but I remember covering that. I was in the Airbnb in LA. I had the shitty little setup, and I remember filming on this. So, in July, MrBeast had said, over the last few days, I've become aware of the serious allegations of Ava Tyson's behavior online, and I am disgusted and opposed to such unacceptable acts. Now, already, I do heavily believe that MrBeast knew about Ava Chris Tyson's behavior at large, but, you know, it was someone that, you know, MrBeast liked. It was one of MrBeast's friends. Therefore, you will be protected and you will be. It's just my honest opinion. During that time, I've been focused on hiring an independent third party to conduct a thorough investigation to ensure I have all the facts. That said, I've seen enough online and taken immediate action to remove Ava from the company, my channel, and any association with MrBeast. I do not condone or support any of the inappropriate actions. I will allow the independent investigators the necessary time to conduct a comprehensive investigation and will take any further actions based on their findings. And then he did a follow-up yesterday with, after a 3-month, investigation. Now, there's a lot of tweets I want to get to before we get to the actual statement of the investigation, but it's really, really, really weird. And we're going to pull up the one and only Rosanna Penino, who had commented on this and said, if your own paid-for internal investigation leads to a new CEO and finds workplace harassment and misconduct as well as multiple firings, I think it might be time for a bigger investigation. Basically, after it said, MrBeast is hiring a new CEO and firing multiple employees after internal investigation find workplace harassment and misconduct at the company. So Rosanna's saying, if your own investigator that you hired and you cherry-picked is finding these things, it's bad. She also went on to tweet, if your lips are moving, then you're lying, the Meghan Trainor song. And she's posted this, and it says that the CEO is MrBeast's cousin James, and the CFO is MrBeast's mom Sue. So basically, as a result, MrBeast is in process of making a number of changes to the company. He'll be hiring a new, CEO, CPO, CFO, and Rosanna's making this point that, it's literally just his family hired. So let's get to this statement, shall we? A 3-month investigation into allegations regarding my company has concluded. The law firm investigators reviewed millions of documents, messages, and conducted 39 interviews. I was asked to refrain from making public statements to enable a detailed and unbiased investigation. Below are their conclusions. Now, I want to get to this tweet before we read them. Now, I just find this interesting. This person says, let's do some maths. The statement says there are over 4.5 million documents and messages that were reviewed. But let's be generous and just say it's exactly 4.5 million. This has been an ongoing investigation since around July 24th, 2024, when Jimmy made his first statement, which is exactly 100 days ago. Being as generous as possible and assuming the investigation started on that day and ended today, November 1st, it's likely somewhere in the middle. Here's how fast the team would have needed to have reviewed all of those messages. Since July 24th, 2024, there have been 69 business days, excluding weekends and holidays. That would have meant that they would have reviewed 65,217 messages and documents a day. 65,217 divided by 8 hours a day for an 8-hour workday equals 8,152 messages and documents per hour. 8,152 divided by 60 minutes per hour is 136 messages and documents per minute. So, essentially, the MrBeast investigation team were reading and investigating over 2+ messages documents per second. That would include actual physical time it would take to read the messages and documents with your own eyes, along with any time allocated for taking notes, communicating with other members involved in the investigation via email, phone, etc., reporting to the higher ups, organizing the data for the investigation through spreadsheets or other means, various small breaks, other ongoing investigations for the company or employees, etc. Now, I personally am not going to claim I know what happens in these internal investigation companies. Maybe this is a totally normal pace. However, that's just the math. So do with that what you will. And I don't really want to give an opinion on that. I just wanted to read it because I think it kind of speaks for itself. So let's get to the actual statement. All right, so Board of Directors, mrbeast LLC. God, I feel like I've read so many internal documents from mrbeast LLC recently. Internal investigation, key findings and conclusions. Dear Board of Directors, as you know, in July 2024, mrbeast LLC, the company, engaged Quinn Emanuel Orchart and Sullivan LLP to conduct an internal investigation into specific allegations made publicly, incidents reported internally, and issues raised by employees in interviews, including with respect to current and or former company personnel and the company's workplace environment and culture. At your direction, Quinn Emanuel immediately launched a comprehensive investigation, which has now concluded. So we're being told it's over. Like, this is it. It's over. The following sets forth certain key findings and conclusions from the investigation without waiving any applicable privileges, including but not limited to the attorney-client privilege and work product protection. As an internal matter to protect the investigation's integrity, on July 31st, 2024, Quinn requested that a former employee, Dawson French, cease making public allegations against the company. Now, I assume that that is Dogpack, right? I know that his name is Dawson. Dogpack, real name. Is that who they're talking about? I assume it is. Oh, it is. Dawson French. Okay. So basically, they're saying that they got Dawson to stop making statements. All right. As those were the topic of an ongoing investigation, we also requested that current employees refrain from public comments to ensure the investigation yielded accurate information and that witnesses were not tainted, which I don't believe. I just believe it was like we just didn't want people to talk or bring more attention to this. The intent was to foster candid interviews and complete cooperation with the whatever. Here's the thing. I don't believe that. I truly believe that they wanted Dogpack to stop making videos. They probably wanted Rosanna to stop making videos. They probably wanted everyone involved to stop making statements. Therefore, the story would die, and then we would probably not have gotten this. But the story kept on going, and we kept on going with it, so now they have to do this. Quinn Emanuel conducted 39 interviews of current and former employees. Over 4.5 million documents were collected from mobile phones, emails, telegrams, Discord, WhatsApp, and Slack. They were processed and reviewed. So they're saying that over 4.5 million were reviewed within this time. Remember the previous thing? We'll keep that in mind. The collaboration and cooperation sought at the outset were achieved throughout the process. Quinn Emanuel thoroughly, we're being told. Remember the breakdown of the timings in the last one? Now, the timings may have been, it could have been a longer investigation or whatever. But anyways, over 4.5 were thoroughly investigated. Quinn Emanuel thoroughly investigated all public allegations and any offerings that arose during the investigation. This is interesting because they're saying that they went through over 4.5 million documents, but they also were looking at public things as well. Wow, they were fucking busy, weren't they? Where do they find the time? All right, second and final page. The investigation produced the following significant findings. Number 1, allegations of sexual misconduct. Example, some things that are really bad. Between company employees and minors without basis. The allegations were, wow, this fucking text is tiny. Jesus, I have to get up and fucking right up here. Soundly rejected, including by alleged victims. So basically they're saying that the allegations were rejected by the victims themselves, which we're going to get to Lava GS's post in a second. That's what they're referring to there. Allegations of the company knowingly employing individuals with proclivities, whatever that means, or histories towards illegal or questionable legal conduct are similarly without basis. Here too, the allegations were uniformly rejected. Next, several isolated instances of workplace harassment and misconduct were identified during the investigation. The company was informed of such conduct and took swift and appropriate actions to address the incidents, including where necessary, disciplining or letting go of the individuals. As you're all aware, the company has grown exceedingly quick on YouTube from a startup of a group of talented young individuals to a much larger entity. It is not uncommon that policies and practices essential in a mature company would lag behind commercial success. This appears to have been the case here and in certain instances allowed for inappropriate conduct. It is clear that the company is committed to remedying historical issues and creating a mature culture where problematic behaviors are not tolerated as it enters this new phase. The company has already implemented or is in the process of implementing changes to ensure a safe and professional corporation culture today and moving forward. These include, and then they're going to list what they're doing. But what I think is really interesting about this is investigative whatever this is that Mr. Beast himself cherry-picked and hired is even finding wrongdoing in the company. Like, that's bad. Someone you cherry pick, like, this wasn't just a random person. You couldn't even hide that from them? Wow. My goodness gracious me. All right, let's hear what they're doing differently now. They're sending a clear message regarding tone at the top. They're hiring a new chief executive officer, chief police officer, and general counsel, and soon to be hired chief financial officer. I have something in my eye. I'm going to be right back. I think I got it, but wow, there was like a eyelash like right directly in my eye. Sorry about that, y'all. I had to take a little break. All right, moving on. Implementing mandatory corporate training for all employees, which I love that apparently that hasn't been a thing as of yet. Developing new policies in an employee handbook. Oh no! Are they going to get rid of the how to succeed in the Mr. Beast handbook? I love that! Don't make me read another one. Do not make another one. I spent too much time reading over that one. Establishing an anonymous reporting hotline for employees. Swiftly terminating individuals who violated company policy regardless of their position or level in the company. Identifying additional employees for targeted training and executive coaching to address professionalism within the company policy. This officially concludes our investigation. We remain available if you need any follow-ups or any other questions. Very truly yours. I've never had some... Hello? Is my... Hello? I've never heard someone ever be like, very truly yours. Alex. All right, this to me just seems also 10 million views on this and only 30,000 likes. It's not looking great. People aren't loving this. But what I just find really interesting about this is they're like not really addressing the Ava Chris Tyson, which was the reason for this. In actuality, they're like, yeah, we know about that, but we find harassment, so we're gonna focus on that. And then being like, well, that concludes it. We want encore. We know there's more. So next I want to get to LavaGS's tweet. So LavaGS was the one that was within the story of Ava Chris Tyson and all the allegations, right? And this, when they are referencing, like, even the alleged victims are saying they don't want, whatever it was, this is what they're referring to. So LavaGS quoted the investigation and said, now that the investigation is over and Mr. Beast has addressed it, I want to clarify a few important points that I've remained quiet on as the investigation was ongoing. People use my name to make very serious allegations and claims without ever speaking to me. These people thought they were trying to protect me, but the truth is what they were saying was absolutely false. The private investigators reviewed all my DMs and interactions with Chris. I was the one who sent the Discord leaks to the investigators as they were coming out. It was incredibly difficult having my name thrown around in a public forum without being given the opportunity to share the truth. Thankfully, the people doing the investigation actually did reach out and gave me the opportunity to tell the truth, which I very much so appreciated. I was not groomed. These were false allegations made up by other people with my name thrown in them. The investigation was conducted by real investigators and not internet detectives. They reviewed everything. I, as well as you, wanted a proper and thorough investigation outcome of this, and I'm so glad that it has finally happened. All right, okay, so that was LavaGS responding to it. Also, I just thought this was really interesting. Mr. Beast defending Lunchly versus Mr. Beast defending his company. Of all these harassment, sexual misconduct, like, this is crazy. Lunchly versus that. Just something to note to show where his morals are. Now, I've been seeing people online being like, well, what the fuck is this statement? This is horrible, and explains almost nothing. Also, there's no way 4.5 million documents could possibly be read by a team in 3 months. That's impossible. So again, there we have it. People are not responding to this well at all. You know, it can't get worse, and then it can get worse. It was not great. And hiring your own one as well. I know with YouTube it's hard because it's not a traditional workspace and stuff, but when most of the people employed by you are your family, you can't really have a fair reading, number one. But also to then be like, well, that's the investigation, you know, that's us done. It's not. And you shouldn't be addressing it like that, whether it is or not. There's so much more to this, and it's such an ongoing public thing that this should be an ongoing private thing as well. I don't know. Let me know your opinion. We'll talk about it down below. I appreciate you being here. And again, just a little reminder that tickets for the tour are on sale. I'll see you all in February. I can't wait to meet everyone. Tickets down below, and I'll see you in my next one. Goodbye.